Good morning, and thank you for joining us today to review the Primary Partnership Agreement Submission process. We are excited to be utilizing TN Atlas as the platform for submitting primary partnership agreements. As you know, the department has been engaged in developing the TN Atlas system to serve a number of functions for educator preparation providers. One of the functions that TN Atlas has been designed to accomplish is to streamline content submission. As this is a new tool, we want to take a few moments to familiarize you with the TN Atlas system and the primary partnership agreement submission process. Before we get into the use of TN Atlas, there are a few items that we want to share with you regarding the primary partnership agreement. First, the primary partnership agreement must be submitted in a PDF format. Second, the primary partnership agreement document is to be submitted to the department using TN Atlas between February 13th and 15th, 2019. Last, all primary partnership agreements must be submitted by 5 p.m. Central Standard Time Friday, February 15th, 2019. Now, on to TN Atlas and how to submit the primary partnership agreement using TN Atlas. To submit the primary partnership agreement document, each EPP will need to log on to TN Atlas. If you have not recently logged in, it may be helpful to log in and refamiliarize yourself with the TN Atlas system prior to the opening of the primary partnership agreement submission window. You can access TN Atlas by entering tnatlas.com into your browser. And once you have logged into TN Atlas, you will notice a ribbon of options or tabs which will allow you to choose one of the many features within TN Atlas. For this instance, you will need to select the Reviews tab by clicking on the word Reviews. And by doing so, you will open up a drop-down menu. In this drop-down menu, there are two options: My EPP Reviews and Other EPP Reviews. For the primary partnership agreement submission, you will click on the My EPP Reviews option. Once you click on the My EPP Reviews option, you will see another ribbon of options. Here, select the Comprehensive Reviews tab. It should be noted at this point that while we are still developing many of the functionalities within TN Atlas, this request for evidence, the primary partnership agreement, is occurring within the Comprehensive Reviews tab. This will not always be the case, but in this situation, we are utilizing this feature of TN Atlas as a place for collecting the primary partnership agreements. Okay, back to TN Atlas. Once you've clicked on Comprehensive Reviews, you should see a large blue tile that reads Primary Partnership Agreement Submission. Click on that large blue tile, and once you do so, you will see the Primary Partnership Agreement, RFE, set on your screen. RFE is a term that is defined as a request for evidence. In this case, the evidence we're requesting is the Primary Partnership Agreement PDF. Thus, what you see is an RFE. However, prior to accessing the RFE, it is required that you enter individuals who will be assigned to this review. To do so, you need to click on the blue box that says Assign Review. Once you click on this box, a menu will appear that will allow you to choose individuals with TN Atlas accounts within your institution to assign to this review. It is required that you have at least one individual assigned to the review in order to access the review. You are more than welcome to assign more than one person, and to do so, you would hold down the Control button on your keyboard and select those who you want to have access to the review. Once you've assigned individuals to the review, to open up the RFE set, you want to click on the icon that is right next to the number 1. Once you click on that icon, you will see that this RFE set is made up of multiple layers. In this case, what we have is a primary partnership agreement RFE that ultimately leads to the middle section of the screen where you see a button that allows you to provide evidence. Once you've opened up the accordion layers, and you will need to open up each of the different colored layers here to get to the level where you provide the evidence. You'll notice that once it's open, the space for the submission of the primary partnership agreement is one of 2 places where you can provide evidence. In order to submit the primary partnership agreement, you will need to select the provide evidence for the primary partnership agreement. Once you select or click on the button that says provide evidence, a new window within TN Atlas will open up. It will look like this. In order to submit your document, the primary partnership agreement, you will need to click on the icon that looks like a piece of paper with a plus sign on it. This will open up the File Explorer on your computer. From the File Explorer, you'll need to select the file that you wish to submit the primary partnership agreement in PDF format. Once the file has been selected from your files, click Save. This will attach the TN Atlas. This will attach the primary partnership agreement to the TN Atlas RFE set for your institution. One note that is important is the naming protocol for the file. We are requesting that you name your file with the EPP name _ PPA 2019 as the file structure. For example, Western University _ PPA 2019. You will notice now in the submission window, once you have chosen the appropriate file, you will see that the icon has changed from a blank piece of paper with a plus sign to a piece of paper that has PDF and has the name of the file beneath it. At this point, you will want to click the Save button within TN Atlas in order to save this file. It should also be noted at this point that once the file is saved, it is a requirement that the EPP head administrator or the individual at the institution who has admin rights within TN Atlas to visit this page and select the Review Completed button. Once the Review Completed button has been selected, this file is ready to be submitted. If you get to the level where you can see that evidence has been submitted, you'll see the content type, the file name. If the file name is not accurate and you've already completed the review, you are able to change the document. And the way in which you do that is you would click on the Revise button here, and that will reopen the evidence request, and you would go through the same process to attach a new file. If you feel that supplemental information is required for you and are necessary to the primary partnership agreement submission, you are able to do this in the Supplemental Documentation window, which can be accessed by clicking in the RFE set. The process for attaching, submitting, and approving supplemental documentation is the same as the submission of the primary partnership agreement. It is important to note here that even if you do not need to attach supplemental documentation, you will need to open this window and click the box next to the statement, "We choose not to submit this optional information." This is a requirement and will need to be reviewed by the EPP head administrator, just as was done with the PDF submission of the required primary partnership agreement. Supplemental information is limited to 2 additional uploaded documents. EPPs may include hyperlinks directly in their primary partnership agreement. However, EPPs are encouraged to use hyperlinks within the primary partnership agreement only where the hyperlink information adds significant value to the particular prompt response. Once all of the required and optional documents have been submitted and all the necessary steps in the submission process have been completed, you will be able to submit the primary partnership agreement documents to the department. You will be able to do this once all of the blue bubbles on each row show a completion of a task. You'll notice 1 of 1, 2 of 2. Each of these are required, and you will also see a green check by each of the rows to show that the required elements for each level have been completed. The next step will be to click on the blue button, the terms and conditions, the agreement for this. You will also notice if you click on the terms and conditions at the moment, it is completed with lorem ipsum text as we are still working out the verbiage for the terms and conditions. But once that terms and conditions radio button has been selected, your next step will be to click on the Submit Self-Study button. Again, we're utilizing the comprehensive review section of TN Atlas for this purpose. In the future, this will look different, but in this case, you'll want to submit self-study, which is the submission of the primary partnership agreement to the department. Once you have submitted the RFE set, the RFE will accordion back to a single row, and there will be a small check mark in a green circle next to the words Primary Partnership Agreement. This serves as confirmation that your primary partnership agreement document has been uploaded within the TN Atlas system and will now be accessible for the department. We'd like to close with a few important thoughts. Please remember that your primary partnership agreement documents are to be submitted through TN Atlas by 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Friday, February 15, 2019. Each EPP will receive feedback on the submitted primary partnership agreement by Monday, April 15, 2019. Should you have any questions regarding the primary partnership agreement submission process, please do not hesitate to email either Susan Jones or myself, Hugh Potter, as needed. Susan Jones will be able to provide assistance regarding the primary partnership agreement document, and Hugh Potter will be able to provide assistance related to the use of TN Atlas and the submission of the completed PDF primary partnership agreement document. Please do not hesitate to reach out to either Susan or Hugh as needed. We are here to provide support in any way necessary. Thank you again, and please do not hesitate to reach out to us.